points in Jupeb is actually very achievable. Let me tell you how. If you're a Jupeb student or you're considering taking a Jupeb program, this video is definitely for you. So I did Jupeb at OU and I got, to be of God, I got 16 points, yes. And so I just want to share tips. I just want to share the methods, and I feel the secrets of actually passing Jupeb, secret of getting your 16 points, secret of getting your 15 points, secret of getting the point you ever want to get. Yes, these are the secrets. Okay, so before we go into the video, let me talk about what Jupeb program is. Jupeb program is actually a 9-month program. The 9-month program, approximately 10 months program. After getting your points, or after getting what's required of you in university, go straight to 200 level without going through the looks easy, right? You know, after you're done to the TOEFL exam, straight to 200 level. Yes, it might sound easy, but I won't lie to you. Jupeb is actually easy demanding. Jupeb is easy if you are disciplined, if you are consistent, and if you actually work smartly. There are actually 5 points. I want to just 5 secrets, or five study tips. Yes, 5 study tips I just want to share on how to 5 study tips that actually helps to succeed in Jupeb program. So the first is working with your syllabus. Yes, working with your syllabus. I don't know, I'll keep on stressing this. Work with your Jupeb syllabus actually. Because your Jupeb syllabus is actually what is required of you to know. Yes, knowing what is expected of you to know. Jupeb syllabus, I see Jupeb syllabus as the bank whereby questions are being set. And Jupeb will never set questions outside of their syllabus. So the first step is to actually work with your syllabus. During my Jupeb program, I actually worked with my syllabus. For example now, okay, let's say a topic in physics, vector quantity. Yeah, or let's say vector, right? You know, we have the normal secondary school vector, and we have the A-level vector, and we have the real, like the deep vector. You get what I'm saying? I'm just using it as an illustration that Jupeb is actually an A-level program. So some people now, they can just be limited to only the secondary school vector, and that is actually wrong. Yes, so your Jupeb syllabus will tell you things that you must know as an A-level student, because Jupeb is actually an A-level program. So Jupeb syllabus will actually tell you things that are required of you as an A-level student. So if you don't work with your Jupeb syllabus, how will you know things that you are meant to read, things you are not meant to read? Do you understand? So work with your Jupeb syllabus. The second tip is question banks. Yes, question banks. Yeah. So at the beginning of Jupeb, let me just tell you my experience. At the beginning of my Jupeb, second of the mistake I made was reading without solving questions. Now, what's the main goal of solving questions? Solving questions helps you to retain what you've read. So how can you retain? If you just read a particular subject or a particular topic without solving questions, there's high probability or possibility of one forgetting that particular topic or particular point in a particular topic that I meant to know. So my advice for every student or every student is, after reading the topic, solve questions. You have ChatGPT. Please use your AI well. Use ChatGPT well. Yes, because ChatGPT was one of my instruments I used in Jupeb. Yes, because every subject or every topic I read in a particular subject, I ask ChatGPT to derive questions on a particular topic. Do you understand? So when you are done with reading, immediately support your reading with questions. It's not only when you enter medical school or when you enter university before you use active record. All these things are used for academics. So I feel solving questions and active record will help you retain, because Jupeb program is actually a bulky one. You imagine you piling up information. When it's close to the Jupeb exam, you can't afford. There's no time to go back from the beginning to start revising, like to start reading again. Yes, to start reading is not actually a wise decision or a wise step to take. So the basis of Jupeb is just to have a solid foundation. The third tip will be class attendance and active listening. Yes, always attend classes, please. Attend classes, people, because there are things that your lecturer will say that might not be in your lecture notes, and this can come out. So that's all this thing. And I noticed something. One thing I noticed about lecturers, even in medical school, is that their class will predict or we give you hints of what they're going to bring out in exam. That's not the truth. Now, this tip is going to work especially for your internals because when they do internals, you understand, we have an idea. And so when you are going back to read, it actually make things easier. Fourth point is study materials. So I will say the study materials that I used. In physics, I used swarms. Please use swarms physics. Use swarms physics because a particular question came out in a particular yes, they put out in my own set. They put out a particular question from swans. Yes, from swans. So please work with swans. Yes, work with swans. And what else did I use? I used there's Sawe, yes, Sawe. Sawe, yes, that's also a textbook. Jupep actually prints out questions. Sawe, some swans too. Then for chemistry I used this Unilag foundation textbook. Yes, I used Unilag foundation textbook for the chemistry, and I think for biology I used principles in bio and principles of bio. I think principles in bioscience or principles of bioscience is that a green cover. That's which one as well too. So talk about the code factor. The code factor. It's also what you do. Carry God along. The Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct. But when you acknowledge God in your affairs, in your academic affairs, the Bible says that he's going to direct you. He's going to direct your paths. So let me tell you something. There are some journeys that you can't walk alone. There's some things that you can't succeed on your own. And having God factor, it actually makes the journey easier. I'm not saying it's one thing to read and it's another thing to for the questions to favor you. Yes, because during our Jupep time, our Jupep, it was my set that Jupep brought a new principle whereby questions different questions were given to different students. The way they arranged was we were two on yes, two on a particular chair, two on a particular, and the gap between us was very the gap was actually a very wide gap. There's no way you can actually communicate with each other because even the person sitting down beside you is actually answering a different question. Yes, it was my set 2024, 2024/2025 set. So I said that they brought out that new principle. So there's no way you can cheat on anything. And if you are depending on a school, let me tell you something, it won't work. It won't work. Many students I knew they were victim of it. When they entered the examination hall, that the questions were different. So please don't depend on examination malpractice. Just do your best and involve God. He will direct you. He will direct you. He will direct you. Yes, I'm telling you. That's really a People that are quite sick, and there's this trend that do happen. Yes, and I noticed in many students at the beginning they'll be serious. At the end of the JUPEP program, you see students reading, you see students attending classes and stuff like that. But towards the end of the JUPEP program, that is where many give up. Yes, many students they give up, and it's true. And I'm telling the truth. Don't worry, just what it will happen. It's something that is normal. Don't let anyone tell you to go this hard. Okay, you can't get to that question and stuff like that. Yes, it's true. Jupep, will I say Jupep is hard? Well, the process is, I would not say Jupep is hard, but the process is actually demanding. The process requires diligence, it requires discipline, it requires consistency, and it requires even showing up. It requires even showing up. There are times whereby I was frustrated, there are times whereby I was discouraged, I was down and stuff like that. But then God carried me up. God saw me and tell you can do better, you can do it, you can do it. Bye. See you in my next video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and yeah, see you in my next video. And in my next video, I'll be talking about many things. I'll talk about my visual process, my visual story through the pair. I'm talking about jam tips too. So if you're also a jam bite here, okay, I also make vlogs for jam bite too. So stick with me, stick around, subscribe so that when I release more videos, you will be notified. Bye.